raise a cup up for all my day ones. 2 middle fingers for the haters. Life's only getting greater.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Danita, and welcome to my channel. So you're probably noticing that something's different. I cut my hair. I really like it like this. You probably noticed also the sports bra straps because athleisure. So I wanted to do a different type of video, a more fun, laid-back video this week. So I came across this video that Tarmars did. And if you don't follow her, you should definitely follow her and subscribe to her channel because she is amazing. And it was top 3 embarrassing moments in her life. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I have a lot of embarrassing moments, but for sure, my embarrassing moments are truly somebody's nightmare. So let's talk about them. And before we get into this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Let's roll. So this video is only going to be my 2 most embarrassing moments because I don't want it to be too long. So we'll keep it to 2. And although there have been many embarrassing moments in my life, these are the top 2 that definitely stick out to me and still like make me cringe to this day when I think about them. So the first one was, I think I was probably 16 or 17 years old. I think I was more 16. So this moment happened when I was probably 16. I want to say I was around 15 or 16 years old, and the high school that I went to had 2 areas. One area was when your parents were going to pick you up like right after school, and there was like a little circle that parents would go to pick up their kids. And then the other area was where everyone who wasn't getting picked up right after school would go and hang out. And that was kind of like in the fence to like PE area where the basketball courts were. And so me and my group of friends would all go over there to hang out after school. My mom never picked me up right after school because she hated the traffic of like sitting and waiting in that circle because you really had to get there like 20 to 30 minutes before school was going to get out to pick up your kid, and that's crazy. And I would definitely never do that if I was a parent. I would make my kid wait until that traffic died down for sure. So back to the story. We were all hanging out in that little like basketball area, and I was hugging my boyfriend. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. I was hugging my boyfriend, and my back, like I was hugging him like this because, you know, high schoolers are just so awkward and for some reason just like can't keep their hands off each other. Anyways, so I was hugging him, and my friend, my back was like facing everybody. And my friend came up to me and pantsed me, which was like whatever because like that's what people do, you know, like people pants people for fun, but like not really like pulling it all the way down, just a little for like a little chuckle, you know. But she like legit pantsed me to where like my pants went down to my ankles. But not only did my pants come down, but my underwear came down too. And it was so embarrassing because immediately like I could feel me turning super red. And I just remember like pulling up my pants like so fast, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like the worst thing that could ever happen to me in my life. And there was like other kids that weren't like my group of friends hanging out there, but they were like the older popular kids in school, and like I just remember them laughing and being like, oh my god. Sorry, somebody just hit my door. Being like, oh my gosh, like whispering about it, and I was so embarrassed. And still to this day, I think about it, like if that happened to me right now, I would probably cry. But I just remember like pulling up my pants and looking at my boyfriend like, oh my god, did he see my butt? Like, it was really stupid. But I was thinking about that, and then like all my friends like definitely saw. And like my friends weren't just girls, they were like guys too, so that's like even worse, I guess, when you're that age. And I didn't wear like cute underwear when I was young, I wore like granny panties, so that was even more embarrassing. And oh, it was just so horrible. I just remember going like to the locker room and being like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna face these people again? And I remember hanging out like in the girls' locker room until my mom came to pick me up. But like on the low, like I didn't want people to know that it affected me, so I was like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom, like acting like haha whatever, like you're stupid for pantsing me, like it's no big deal kind of thing. But then I remember like going to the locker room and just like, oh my god, like I want to cry, I want to cry, I want to cry, but I can't let these people see me cry. And then my mom came, and I think I like made up an excuse like, oh well, I'm sorry, I was in the bathroom for a while, I was talking to my mom, she's here now. And then I just like left and went home. And I remember like thinking about it at home, but when I was home I was like, okay, you're home, like no one's gonna remember this, they're gonna forget about it tomorrow, it's not a big deal. And then I remember in the morning of the next day, I was like, oh my god, what if people remember? And they're like, that's the girl that got pantsed and her pants fell down and all this stuff. And it was really awkward for like the next couple days. That was definitely probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. So my next story, let me give you guys a little bit of a backstory to it. I have always been a clumsy person. Like, things fall all the time. I trip over my own feet. My boyfriend treats me very special. Like, he has to, like, almost hold my hand when I cross the street and, like, put an orange vest on me because he thinks I'm gonna walk in the middle of a car. But I'm not. I see the cars around me. But I'm just a very clumsy person, and crazy things happen to me, like this next story. And I almost feel like the universe definitely has humor. And I feel like when these things happen to me, it's like the universe definitely like chuckling. It's like, ha ha ha. So now that I've gotten older and those things happen to me, I kind of just laugh them off because it's just me. It happens to me. My next story takes place on my last day of being a senior in high school at my senior graduation, my high school graduation. One of the coolest, biggest days of your life, kind of. At that point in your life, that's like a huge milestone, right? And I got this really cute teal dress and these super cute cheetah print wedges, because cheetah print was the shit when you were in high school. If you're telling me that you didn't have a cheetah print purse, I know you're lying, because everybody did. And I was queen of cheetah print. Like, that was my thing. So I felt it necessary to go to the store and buy some cheetah print heels. I opted for wedges because I knew I would break my neck if I wore heels. So I thought wedges were the safer way to go. I was definitely wrong. And let me tell you why. So the process of our senior graduation, or high school graduation, I keep saying senior graduation, high school graduation was that once you arrived, you would go to the auditorium while your guests and your parents went and sat down. So all the seniors in the school that were graduating would all socialize, hang out, take pictures, do all that cool, oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss you kind of thing, or I can't believe we're graduating high school, this is like such a big deal kind of thing, you know? And like 3 minutes into being there, I knew I made a huge mistake because my feet freaking hurt. And I love heels, I love wedges, I love all that stuff, but I never wear them because I've made so many stupid choices of wearing heels and wedges, and my feet end up hurting like 10 minutes later, that now that I'm older, I've just learned like, okay, that's just not what you do. Unless I do have some comfortable pairs of wedges and heels, and I can wear those for a while, so I will wear those out. But if they're not comfortable, I just won't touch them or wear them or even buy them anymore now. But this was a younger me who didn't know that yet, so I did make some mistakes. And I needed to make these mistakes, obviously, to learn that lesson. So like I was saying, 3 minutes into being in the auditorium, I knew I made a mistake because my feet were killing me. And keep in mind that I never really wore like any sort of heel in my life before this day. So walking around was not the business. So once graduation is going to start, the staff there kind of line you up in your position as like obviously your last name. And so my last name starts with a C, so I was kind of in the beginning. And so once you line up, you hear the music and you wait at a certain point, and then somebody lets you know when to start walking. So you could hear the music starting, and everybody starts to walk. So the A group goes, and then B group goes, and then C group goes, and I'm starting to walk, and I'm looking, and it's so pretty because there's arches with flowers, and there's so many people there, and there's balloons and leis and bouquets of flowers everywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, I'm an adult now. I don't have to deal with high school. And so I'm walking down. I see my brother. He's taking pictures of me. I see my family. They're all excited. So I'm walking, walking, walking. And then there's a certain point, since my last name starts with a C, and I'm kind of in the front, where the cement turns into grass. And that change in pavement did not react to my shoes that well, and I slipped and ate crap face first, like this. Again. And I just remember at the point when I was on the floor, I just remember everything going quiet. I remember some people going, and I remember thinking, do I cry or do I laugh? What do I do? What do I do? And it felt like I was down there for like 20 minutes contemplating that. But in all reality, it was probably like 20 seconds. So I said to myself, if you cry, this will make it so much worse. But if you laugh, people will forget about it. And so I got up and I laughed. I laughed it off like, took my seat. I still didn't have my shoe on yet. My God, my boys. I was holding my shoe like when I was walking. I didn't want to stand out by being the only one sitting down putting their shoe on because they just ate crap and lost their shoe. So there was the one standing next to me. His name was Jesse, and he was kind of like known as like the weird guy in school, but he was a really nice kid. And I was like, hey Jesse, can I use your shoulder to put my shoe back on? And he was like, sure. Like, he wasn't even like, sure. He's just like, sure. So I like grabbed his shoulder and like wiggled my shoe back on my foot. And I stood there. And then, so everyone else piled in, and then we could all sit down. And then I was freaking out because I was like, okay, if that happened to me right now, there's still grass to get to the stairs to walk on stage to get my diploma. And at this point, I was like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, can I just sit here? But obviously, I couldn't. So my row is starting to become the next row to get up and go get the diploma. And when it was my turn, I told myself, just walk slow. Like, who cares if you stand out because you're walking slow? I'd rather be the person who walked slow than the person who fell twice at their graduation. So I'm passing through all the teachers, and I'm like, oh, no one's saying anything about this. Like, maybe nobody saw. For sure everybody saw, but that's just what I told myself. And so I got my diploma, took my picture, like. So when I get to my last teacher, and I forgot what teacher it was, he made some comment like, don't fall on your way back, or something like that. And it was like kind of like a joking way. Like, I know he meant no harm by it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, oh my God, like, this is the worst thing ever. And so the graduation ended, yada yada. I went to go see my family. My sister and I wore the same shoe size. So I was like, hey, put these shoes on, wear these heels and give me your flip-flops. So all of my pictures for my high school graduation, I have this like pretty dress on, and these like ratchet flip-flops on. So I was walking around taking pictures with everybody, and then my brother comes up to me and he's like, I was following you all the way down, and then I lost you. And I was like, yeah, you probably lost me when my face was on the floor. And, oh gosh, that's just me. Like, that kind of stuff happens to me. Like, I am 90% sure that I will probably trip down the aisle on my wedding day. And now that I know that, I'm going to prepare. So I'm not going to wear heels. I'm going to wear sneakers. Sneakers on my wedding day to prevent myself from falling. So after that whole day, once I like settled down and everything, my ankle was so swollen and I sprained it. But if you were that person that tripped at graduation, you're not the only one. There's others out there. And that other is me. So that's it for my 2 embarrassing moments. And I would love to hear about your embarrassing moments. You know, like I shared mine. You should share yours with me. I know that those are probably going to be nothing compared to other things that happen in future days of my life, but they're just funny to think about and look back on. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your week full of love and light, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!